engaged in devotional service with determination, his mind and intelligence fixed on me. Such a devotee of mine is very dear to me. Yasmanu rujate loka lokano rujate chaya harsha marsha bhaya vegai mukto samedriya. Translation: He by whom no one is put into difficulty and who is not disturbed by anyone, who is equipoised in happiness and distress, fear and anxiety, is very dear to me. अनपेक्षा सुचिदक्षा उदासीनो गतव्यद सर्वारंभ परित्यागी मुक्तो यस्य मे प्रिया. Translation: By devotee who is not dependent on the ordinary course of activities, who is pure, expert, without cares, free from all pains, and not striving for some result, is very dear to me. न शुष्यति न द्वेष्टि न शोचति न कांक्षति शुभाशुभ परित्यागी भक्तिमान यस्य मे प्रिया. Translation: Neither rejoices nor grieves, who neither laments nor desires, and who renounces both auspicious and inauspicious things. Such a devotee is very dear to me. समचित्रोच मित्रे च तदा मानव मानव शीतोष्णा सुखदुःखेषु समसंगा विवर्जिता तुल्यनिन्दास्तु तैर्मौने सन्तुष्टो येन केनचित् अनिकेतास्थिरामतिर्भक्त्यो नरः. Translation: One who is equal to friends and enemies, who is equipoised in honor and dishonor, heat and cold, happiness and distress, fame and infamy, who is always free from contaminating association, always silent and satisfied with anything, who does not care for any residents, who is fixed in knowledge and who is engaged in devotional service. Such a person is very dear to me. ये तो धर्मामृतमिदं दुःखं पर्युपासते श्रद्धाना मत्परमा भक्तास्ते मे प्रिया. Translation: Those who follow this imperishable path of devotional service and who completely engage themselves with faith, making me the supreme goal, are very dear to me. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you, Riyansh. Jai. Yeah. Jai. Srimad Canto. Hari Hari Bol. Thank you, Riyansh, for beautifully reciting and making us go through the 12th chapter of Bhagavad Gita.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
And thank you to you so that we can hear you again and again. And thank you, Swathi Mataji, for beautifully grooming the children. And I mean, that is actually the responsibility of a parent. I mean, even though we cannot, I mean, make all of the like kids to be, I mean, they take Krishna consciousness, but at least they can. At least we can make them to recite some shlokas. So because of that only they can remember at the time of the crisis. And it may not manifest, but after maybe going in years forward, when they are stressed, when they become, I mean, older and older, then they can assimilate what we have given to them. So thank you, Swathi Mataji. Thank you, Riyansh, again. So we'll chant one time Hare Krishna.
For giving me the opportunity.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
So Thank you.
All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
All good. All good. Thank you, Mataji. So we spent one time Hare Krishna Mantra for well-being of Shamchandra Prabhu because he is not well, and also Manisha Mataji, she is also not well, even though she joined the meeting. So we'll chant one time Hare Krishna Mantra for the recovery, a speedy recovery. Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare
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 Hare,
Hare
Rama,
Rama
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama
Rama Rama,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare.
Hare Hare. So we are reading from the chapter. Okay, 1 minute. Let me close this on the slides. So we are reading from the chapter 184. 184, right? Okay. So in the previous chapter, what we have seen, like अश्वत्थामा ने क्या किया था? 5 पांडव पुत्रों को, right? 5 पांडव पुत्रों को मार दिया था. मार देने के बाद फिर उसने अर्जुन ने उनके केश काट दिया, उनके मणि निकाल दिया and सब कुछ. And after that, what he left to the forest. Okay, उसको कर गया. फिर उसके बाद में after the what we have done, then everybody came and everybody is in lamentation because सब लोगों ने अपने कई कई लोगों ने अपने husbands, कई लोगों ने relatives, even Pandavs, everybody is in grief. And 183 में yesterday what we have seen, like offering of obligations to the forefather is most important thing. This is what we have seen in 183. So we'll go for 184 today. Okay, 184 में क्या है? Let us recite our ज्ञान श्लोका and then we can go forward. ओम अज्ञानतिम्रान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः. श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं. वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरुं श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवं च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथं वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादं सहगण योगाश्र विशाखान्वितं च. हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीन बंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमस्ते. तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी विश्वभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिय. वाञ्छ कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. अनंत की जय. नारायण नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये. नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवतस्य यतीन्द्र. Before reciting Srimad Bhagavatam, which is very of worship, we should offer respect to blessing unto Narayan Rishi, supermost human being, unto Mother, servicing the goddess of learning, unto the Vasudeva, author of Srimad Bhagavatam. So we will just summarize what we have learned in 181, 182, 183. So in 181, what we have done, Pandavas desiring to deliver water to the dead relatives who has desired it, went to Ganges with the Draupadi. The ladies walked in front to offer the obligations. Okay, and we need to perform all the 16 samskaras. So starting from the Kartansar. To date, it is the custom in the Hindu to go to the Ganges or any other sacred river to take a bath when death occurs in the family. Each of the family members pours out a potful of the Ganges water for the departed soul and walks in a procession with the ladies in the front. The Pandavas also followed the rules more than 5,000 years ago. This is not near. I mean, it's for more than 5. Lord Krishna, being a cousin of the Pandavas, who almost among the family members, as followed. In the text too, so we should not, like yesterday Prabhuji what said, like whenever if anybody is suffering, so we should not give them philosophy. First we need to lament. So having lamented over them and sufficiently offered Ganges, they bathed in the Ganges whose water is sanctified due to being mixed with the dust of the lotus feet of the Lord. Okay, first the grieving process, then the philosophy. In the third, they sat the king of the Gurus, Maharaj Yudhishthir, along with his younger brothers. So all Panch Pandava were there, and Dhritarashtra and Gandhari, Kunti, Draupadi, all overwhelmed with grief, and Lord Krishna was also there. Okay, then denial, anger. If anything has been stuck, then what we'll do, we'll deny first. Why this happened to me and this one. Then again, anger, bargain, depression. Then at last there will be acceptance. So we will going to see in the fourth, in the one, we are going to see what is there in the 184. Santvayam, yeah. शान्तव्यम् असमुनिभिर्हता बन्धून् सुचार्पितं भूतेषु कालस्य गतिं दर्शयन् न प्रतिक्रियाम् शान्तव्यम् आशमुनिभिर्हता बन्धून् सुचार्पितं भूतेषु कालस्य गतिं दर्शयन् न प्रतिक्रियाम् Shantavyam Asa, pacified. Munivi, along with Munis present there. Hata Bandhun, those who lost their friends and relatives. Sucharpitam, all shocked and affected. Bhuteshu, unto the living beings. Kalasya, of the supreme law of the Almighty. Gatim, reactions. Darshanyam, demonstrated. Na, no. Pratikriyam, remedial measures. Translation by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, citing the stringent laws of the Almighty and their reactions upon living them, Lord Krishna and the Munis began to specify those who are shocked and affected. So all of them are lost something. They lost relatives, they lost their friends, all of them. Because वो युद्ध में कितने लोग, like around 4 crores people, more than 4 crores people, they participated in the war, and only few people are left, maybe 7 or 11 people, not more than that. So all of them got annihilated. Okay, so like we can imagine, like we have so many big relatives, families, and we heard that all of them are lost. So how grief will be, even though they are not close to us, some are close to us, so we all been stricken. I mean उतना बड़ा झेल नहीं पाते. So all of them, everybody is not who won the war, the पांडवों ने war won किया, they are satisfied. No, because everybody is in grief because they lost somebody. So here, citing the stringent laws of the Almighty, stringent laws, I mean the laws of nature, laws of karma is very, very strong. It's not easy to break. Nobody can break because laws are running under the time of Kala. Kala is nothing but a Sudarshan Chakra. So nobody can escape from the laws of karma. Nobody can escape. Nobody can escape. Even the devotees, जो भी liberate भी होते हैं, even if they have their karma, like there's some good karmas or bad karmas. So what Lord does, he transfers like the bad karmas who are enemies to the devotees, and the good karmas to the beneficiary of the devotee. Okay, so law of karma cannot be zero at any time. Nobody can be zero at any time. Okay, so this much strict. Okay, so we'll see in the purport. It's a beautiful purport. We can assimilate one by one what Prabhupada has given to us. Okay, so purport by His Divine Grace Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada. The stringent laws of nature under the order of the Supreme Personality of Godhead cannot be altered by any living entity. This and the living entity are eternally under the subjugation of the Almighty Lord. The Lord makes all the laws and order, and these laws and order are generally called dharma or religion. No one can create any religious formula. So I mean it's not like हम बोलते हैं कि लाइक मैं बस इतना करूंगा या मेरे हिसाब से ये सही है, मैं या मेरे हिसाब से गलत है. No, because nobody can create a religion. There's a famous verse who has is cited by Vishnu Dutas in the 6th canto, 3rd chapter, 19th verse. This is dharmam tu sakshat bhagavad pranitam. I mean, religion is nothing but equivalent to the Lord. So here, the real religious principles are enacted by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Although fully satisfied in the mode of goodness, even the great rishis. So who are fully satisfied in the mode of goodness, even the great rishis who are doing tapasya from who are doing tapasya for so many years, who occupy the topmost planets, like in the higher planetary system, where they are just below the Brahma Loka, there are so many planetary systems. In the topmost planets, even the great rishis who are performing crores of years, the penances, even they cannot ascertain, they cannot manufacture the religion, the real religious principle, nor can the demigods or the rulers of Siddha Loka. of any local. They cannot manufacture because there's all religious. जो भी धर्म होता है, that is given by the supreme personality. What is meant by dharma? Like varna and ashram, and what we need to do, what we don't need to do. Everything is given by the Lord. That is coming from the Vedas. To say nothing of asuras, ordinary human being, Vidyadharas and Charas. When challenged by Vishnu to describe the principle, the Yamadutta said, Veda pranito dharman. The religious principle are the principle enacted in the Vedic literature. So this principle, how they come? They coming from the Vedic literature. Who has given this Vedic literature? I mean, Vedas, who has given? I mean, Vedas प्रकट कैसे हुए? प्रकट भगवान के आई मीन ब्रह्मा जी के हृदय में प्रकट किया. कौन प्रकट किए? भगवान ने प्रकट. So by the grace of Lord, that Vedas are manifested from within the heart of Brahma, and Brahma could able to speak. So this Vedas is nothing but a song of Lord. It's a direct. It's coming from the mouth of the Lord. You can say. Okay. So they do not know, however, that Vedic literatures contain ritualistic ceremonies. They are not translated, but are meant to keep peace and order among materialistic position in the material world. So real religious principles are Nishtay Guna, about the three modes of life. So what is the real religious principle? So we have so many religious principles. Like कितने सारे कर्म है, वैदिक कर्म है जो I mean every like so many religious principles are there. Like हम कभी कभी देखते हैं कि द्वंद्व भी होता है. Like हम ये पालन करें या ये पालन करें. So what is the topmost religion, the real religious principle? Like जैसे मेरे माँ बाप को सेवा करना है या सोसाइटी को देखना है या नेशन के लिए काम. This is also religious principle. Yes, we need to work. But what is the topmost? If there is a one, like if there is a conflict, so what is the topmost? We need to create priority. So here it is saying the real religious principle are nice above the three modes of matter, which is not of this material nature, above the three modes or the transcendental. The Yamaduta did not know this transcendental. The Yamadutas were there, तो उनको पता नहीं था कि what is this transcendental religious man. Therefore, when prevented from arresting Ajamila, they were a materialistic person who had attached all their faith to the Vedic rituals are described in Bhagavad, where Krishna says, Veda Vata Rata Partha Nanyad Asti Vadinaha. The supposed followers of the Vedas say there is nothing beyond the Vedic ceremonies. So जो वेद पंडित है वो लोग क्या बोलते हैं? Vedic ceremony is everything. जो कर्म कांड है वो which is everything, but that is not. Because indeed there's a group of men in India who are very fond of Vedic rituals, not understanding the meaning of rituals, which are intended to elevate one gradually to the transcendental platform of knowing Krishna. It's not कि like हम सत्यनारायण कथा कर रहे हैं या कुछ वैदिक रिचुअल कर रहे हैं या obligation to the forefather. Even हम जब श्राद्ध सेरेमनी भी करते हैं, this is not like Vedic ceremony. All the Vedic ceremonies, all the yagnas, even the Satnarayana Katha or any other Katha, whatever we do is only to please the personality of God. उसका एक ही उद्देश्य क्या है कि भगवान विष्णु की संतुष्टि. Nothing more than that. Okay. So those who do not know the principle but to simply attach their faith to the Veda are called Veda Vata Rata. सो वो खाली क्या रिचुअल्स को फॉलो कर रहे हैं, बस मेरा काम है फॉलो करना, मैं फॉलो कर रहा हूँ एंड मुझे और इससे ज्यादा कुछ लेना देना है, तो वो लोग क्या है वेद बता रहा था. सो इट इज रियल रिलीजियस प्रिंसिपल इज दैट व्हिच इज गिवन बाय सुप्रीम पर्सनालिटी ऑफ गॉडहेड. सो रियल रिलीजियस प्रिंसिपल क्या है? हु इज गिवन बाय द सुप्रीम गॉडहेड. द प्रिंसिपल इज स्टेटेड इन भगवद गीता सर्वधर्मन परित्यज्य माम एकम शरणम. तो हम ये कितने की बार हम कई बार हम रिसाइट करते हैं, बट आर वी रियली इज सरेंडरिंग टू द लॉर्ड? That we need to ask. Because अगर हमें कुछ भी डिफिकल्टी हो जाता है, कुछ भी हो जाता है किसी और डेमिगॉड के पास या नहीं तो किसी और बाबा या किसी आई मीन वी आर नॉट हैविंग ए फेथ ऑन द लिटरेचर्स. दैट इज आल्सो is not सर्वधर्म परित्यज्य. सर्वधर्म परित्यज्य इन whatever the Lord speaks, जो भी भगवान ने बोला है गीता एंड भगवान, we need to take as it is. If you are having any doubt or anything, like we are not following anything, किसने बोला कि सुबह उठ के चैंटिंग श्रवणम कीर्तन करना है, and if anybody is not following, whimsically नहीं मेरे से इतना ही होता है, मैं 10 बजे उठूंगा, 11 बजे उठूंगा, और I will sleep at night 11-12 o'clock in the night, but I will not wake up in the morning. I know what I can do. That is not dharma, because Lord said that we need to wake up in the early morning. We need to wake up early morning and we need to chant. So we should be always careful. Even the smallest, if there is, we are deviating from the Gita and Bhagavatam, is nothing but we are not surrendering to the Lord. So one should give up all the duties and surrender onto the lotus feet of Krishna. So whatever the duties we do, whatever the duties, like even if you are uh, uh, getting a salary, if you are working for anyone, even Mataji is cooking and everything, they are taking care of the family. बट इफ इट्स अगर उसका उद्देश्य ये नहीं है कि हम भगवान की संतुष्टि करें, इफ इफ देयर इज नो गोल दैट वी नीड टू प्लीज द लॉर्ड, वट एवर द एक्टिविटीज वी डू, सो फॉर गेटिंग ए सैलरी इज, इट्स वेरी इजी, it's not very easy, because not nowadays, covid ke time pe so many people are getting lost and so many people are stressed, we are overloaded with work, not from the covid, also before the covid and post covid, what will happen, because you are getting younger and younger generations. So when you are becoming older and older, you will be having so much competition to and so much learn every day, you need to learn, otherwise you will not be competent to do the job. You cannot adapt to the changes what is happening in the field. So you're working, I mean, politics and everything. So every day when you consider, it's so much hectic in the office, and it's not only office, even in the household activities when the Matajis do, I mean, to take care of the families and relatives, their taunts, and इतना करने के बाद भी when you get blamed from the sons and daughters कि आपने क्या किया है, what you have done nothing, you have not given me, and even from the spouses also, you will always hear. So this is so much difficult situation, is it right? But what should be the purpose of this difficult situation? अगर हम already इतना difficult situation से जा रहे हैं, so what should be our goal? Our daily goal should be, okay, today we are going through so much difficulty, but at least what is the goal? We need to please the Lord. And how we can please the Lord? By chanting, by doing the service. This should be our primary goal. If this is not our primary goal, then whatever we do, अगर हम जो कुछ भी कर रहे हैं, इवन तो हम कितना कमा के, कितना प्रॉपर्टी बना के, या नहीं तो कितना फैमिली को टेक करके गए, इवन कोई प्रभु जी है माते, then that is gonna waste, that will waste. So we should, our goal क्या रहना चाहिए? Whatever we do, we should be according to the religious principle, and which has been given by the Supreme Personality Godhead, and we should surrender to the lotus feet of Krishna. Okay, so let us see what further has said. So following the orders of the Lord, bona fide religion is to abide by the orders of the Lord. So bona fide religion is nothing but mean to abide by the orders of the Lord. The Lord's orders are clearly declared in the Bhagavad. Everyone should follow him only or his orders, and that will make all happy. Okay, that will make all happy. Everyone should follow him only or his orders, and that will make him happy, both materially and spiritually. Okay, because Krishna will preserve whatever we get, even if it's not there, he will give. It doesn't mean कि हम जरूरत से ज्यादा कुछ पूछेंगे तो भगवान देगा. No, भगवान, only Krishna will give the opulence of whatever the material benefits, so that it can elevate you to spiritually. Whereas the other demigods, without thinking anything, like Brahma, like Hiranyakashipu, he has done so much penances. उन्होंने कितना कितना वो किया, तपस्या किया. And Brahmaji, without thinking anything, he has given, like, tum subah nahi marna, shaam mein nahi marna. He wanted to, Hiranyakashipu wanted to trick Brahma, and wanted to get, he wanted to alive forever and ever. And Brahmaji also is given. And after Narasimha Dev has come, and Brahmasimha Dev told, don't give this kind of benediction next time, because it will be very difficult. So that is what is the difference between the demigods and the Krishna. Krishna will give only the opulence which can help us to grow spiritually. तो हमें ऐसा envious नहीं होना कि भाई कोई डेमिगॉड को कर रहा है, जैसे कुछ भी कर रहे हैं, जैसे वरलक्ष्मी व्रतम या कुछ भी, जैसे कितने के सारे व्रत रहते हैं, इफ इट्स गेटिंग material benefit, but actually that is not a material benefit. Even the Lakshmi Mata, she cannot give a benediction, because whatever the benediction, whatever the opulence he is getting, is nothing but by given by Durga Mata. It's not from the Lakshmi. And whatever we get from the Durga Devi, I mean, she will make you more and more suffer, because if because what is the role of Durga Devi? Is to pratarit karna living entities ko. Why? Because we have bahirmukha. I mean, we are not serving the Krishna. The whole purpose of Durga Devi is to make suffer the living entities, so that they can go into the shelter of Krishna. If they are not going to shut up, if they want to enjoy, if they want to lord over the material energy, so she will first give. Okay, you want to play with this, she will give. And again with आदि भौतिक आदि दैविक आध्यात्मिक, उससे क्या करते हैं, she will give also beating. Okay, so as long as we are in the material world, our duty is to follow the orders of the Lord. And if by the grace of the Lord we are liberated from the clutches of the material world, then in our liberated stage also we can render a transcendental loving service unto the Lord. Okay, so liberated stage. What do you mean by liberated stage? In the material stage, we can see neither ourselves nor the Lord for want of spiritual vision, because we are so much contaminated. We cannot able to see our soul. I mean, हम कितने के बार हम सुनते हैं, like we are we are so much potent like sun, like what we have heard in the Vichita Krishna Prabhuji's class. Like we are so much potent, but why we are diminished so much? We cannot see our soul, we cannot hear the super soul. हम क्यों इतना पतन हो गए? Because of the sense gratification, because of the material enjoyment. So we have gone so much level that we cannot, I mean हमारी शक्ति इतना क्षीण हो गई, it's covered so much, we cannot able to see the Lord, we cannot able to hear the Lord, or we cannot able to know our constitutional position. That is why we degrade. Why we degrade? Because of our sense gratification, our sense enjoyment, propensity of sense enjoyment. Okay, so in our material we can see neither ourselves nor the Lord for want of spiritual vision. But when we are liberated from material affection and situated in our original spiritual form, we can see both ourselves and the Lord face to face. Mukti means to be reinstated in one's original position status after giving up the material conception. What do you mean by mukti? मुक्ति ये नहीं है कि हम जाके भगवान में लीन हो जाए, या सर्वज्ञ मुक्ति मिले, या ब्राह्मण रियलाइजेशन में जाके हम लीन हो जाए. No, I mean this is what they show in the TVs and josias. This is not a mukti. Okay, which the devotee never likes. The devotee mukti means being reinstated. Like जैसे मछली है, मछली को अगर हम बाहर निकालेंगे तो कितना भी सोफे में रखे, कितना भी कंफर्ट जोन में रखे, I mean वो मछली हैप्पी रहेगी? I mean she can survive? I mean he can survive? No, it cannot survive unless until it go back to the fish. I mean go back to the water. And we can be in the water for all the time? No, we cannot be in the water, because we are comfortable in the land. The same way mukti means being reinstated. So being reinstated means our soul, I mean what is the position of our soul? To serve the Lord. Unless until we situated in that position, we will not be happy. But we are lording over the material things. We will see, अगर मुझे मोबाइल मिल गया तो अच्छा लगेगा, मुझे वो पर्सन मिल गया तो मैं उसके कंफर्टेबल जिंदगी निभा पाऊंगा, मेरा बच्चा ऐसा रहेगा तो ऐसा रहेगा, मेरी नौकरी ऐसा रहेगा तो मेरे पेरेंट्स ऐसा रहेगा, मेरे पेरेंट्स इतना प्रॉपर्टी क्यों नहीं छोड़ के गए, एटलीस्ट आई वुड बी हैप्पी दैट उसके पेरेंट्स ने छोड़. नो, दिस इज गिव एनी बेनिफिट, or it will not give any benefit. Like you become IAS IPS also, now you will become IAS, now your sons and daughter will become IAS IPS if you give only material education. But what will happen after leaving the body? He can become a cat and dog, we can become a cat and dog. Then what is the point of having only having that material education, or only having the material things around us? So mukti means to be reinstated in one's original spiritual status after giving up the material conception of life. Therefore human life is specifically meant for qualifying ourselves for this spiritual liberty. So what is the purpose of human life? Human life is only and only goal, so that we need to live, because हमारे क्या है, हमारे रस है for the material enjoyment. So we need to leave that rasa, we need to leave that attraction towards the so-called sense gratification. Okay, because whatever the sense gratification we are doing, उसके mind में is all because of the mind. मेरे को वो रहने से मुझे अच्छा लगेगा, या ये situation मुझे अच्छा करेगा. This all is going on the mind. It's not real thing. It's completely fiction. Because now if you see, if you want to have something, after having that person, or attaining that situation, or getting that goal, a material goal, are you happy? No, you are not satisfied. Maybe you will be happy for 1 day, 2 day, or few moments to few days, but after that again you will be hankering, because this is a propensity of the mind, is to hankering about the material things. So Prabhupada is beautifully saying in one of the purport in 2.10.6, the material condition, like the ever condition are apt to develop a mentality for or lording over the material nature, and therefore the material cosmic creations manifested to give the ever conditioned soul two kinds of facilities. So this all material cosmic creation, what is the goal of this cosmic creation is to give the ever conditioned soul, is to give our conditioned soul one facility, is that conditioned soul can act according to its tendency to lord. So according tendency of the Lord, in the sense, if we want to enjoy with material energy, okay, there is a one facility. He is, is the mercy of the Lord. Like He is giving the facility also to enjoy. Okay, or over the corner and other facility, but He is giving also and second choice. Other facility is to give the conditioned soul a chance to come back to home, back to God. So after winding up the cosmic pattern, most of the conditions merge into the existence of the Mahavishnu. But there is always second chance. Second chance is nothing but getting associating with devotees, getting shelter of Prabhupada, getting in Krishna consciousness, people around us. That is a second opportunity. If we take very seriously, then we can go back to Godhead. But here Prabhupada is saying, so after the winding of seven, most of the conditions is, because most of the condition doesn't like. First of all, they don't get opportunities, and in the rarest of rare opportunity, they cannot. I mean, they cannot fulfill, and they cannot complete the Krishna consciousness, and they still have a propensity to lord over the material. So what will happen? Again, they merge into the Mahavishnu. So the material conditioned bodies develop out of the living entity forgetfulness of the relationship of the God. So this material condition, what is this? Everybody was there except the Guru Maharaj was liberated soul, except that all the material conditioned bodies, whoever got this body is why? Because of the forgetful relationship. हम भगवान को भूल गए, that is why we got all these bodies. Everybody in the world. Okay, and during the course of conscious magnetism, these conditions were given to chance to revive the original status of the life with the help of a revealed scripture, so mercifully compiled by the Lord in his different angles, reading or hearing of such transcendental. So how we can liberate? By reading or hearing of such transcendental literatures help us one become liberated even in the conditioned state. So it's not कि हम liberate self when we give up the body, then only we can liberate. No, within this state, if he doesn't have any material lord over material energy, if it doesn't have that propensity, I mean the subtle mind, intelligence, everything will get dissolved, and after leaving the body we'll go back to body. So all the Vedic literatures aim aim at devotional service to the personality of God, and as soon as one is fixed upon this point, he at once becomes liberated from conditional. So all the Vedic literatures, so whatever the Vedic literatures are there, all so all the Vedic literatures aim to devotional service to the personality of Godhead. And as soon as one is fixed upon this point, he at once become liberated from the conditioned life. So Vedic literature का aim क्या है? What is the aim of the devotional service to the personality of Godhead? So whatever the devotional service, like chanting, reading, distributing books, whatever the pure devotees of the Lord is saying, that is actual service to the devotional service. It's not only chanting anything. जो भी whatever the service is given by Guru Maharaj, whatever the Prabhupada is saying, if you are following, then that is a devotional service. Because as soon as one is fixed upon this point, he at once become liberated. So if we without deviating, we are following it. Even if a grahastha, brahmachari, sannyasi, whatever, if we are fixed upon this point, okay, whatever my Guru Maharaj is saying, whatever Prabhupada is saying, whatever the scriptures are revealing, Gita and Bhagavatam, if I want to follow, if it maybe we will deviate, but if we have a conviction, if we want to follow, then it's a liberated stage. If you are following to that point, fixed upon that point, then we are liberated, that the soul will are liberated. So condition imposed by Maya. Unfortunately, under the influence of the illusionary material energy, we accept this spot life of only a few years as our permanent existence, and thus become illusioned by possessing a so-called country, home, land, children, wife, community, wealth, etc., which are false representation created by Maya. This is a very very important and punching point. Prabhupada जो बोल रहे हैं कि जो I mean we accept this spot life because why we are so much convinced. We are not convinced about the devotional service. We are so much convinced about the material education and everything, because जैसे अब किसी को बोले लाइक बच्चे हैं, अब कोई पेरेंट ये तो नहीं चाहता कि आई मीन इट्स ओके टू गिव एजुकेशन और नॉट टू गिव एजुकेशन, राइट? So everybody want to give education. Why? Because we practically see हम कितना evidence है जब when is any kid who has done this 16 years of study or post graduation, then at least he will get a good job, or he can do the job, and or whatever the business after the MBA he want to do, like after that he can do comfortably, he can get a certain amount of money and he can live comfortably. And there's no doubt. Why? Because we practically seeing, we are also experiencing, right? This day to day we are experiencing, okay, how much he has achieved, how much goal. Oh, he has IIT mein pad liya hai bachcha, then he is getting in some lakhs of salary. This is what we are seeing every day, day to day. But why we are not convinced about this devotional life? Because we are not remembered, like we are not uh, uh, seeing, like we have already left this body so many times and we got this new body, because वो हमको remembrance नहीं है, and we are not seeing day to day, and I am not leaving this body getting another body, I am not seeing that. That is why there is no I mean no conviction नहीं है. So unfortunately that the influence of material, we accept this spot life. So spot life in the sense, when you compare the crores of life of Brahmaji, like it's around how many crores, like 3 billions or some years he is living. So compared to them, we are just like a minute to minute, like it's seconds भी नहीं है उनके मुकाबले. Our lifespan, may be like 70-80 years, but we take this as a permanent existence. Even though if somebody has died, अगर हमारे relatives में कोई मर गए, we go to smashan, and we and people there also busy with mobiles, with action plans, and they talk like हाँ तुम्हारा कैसे चल रहा है, जॉब कैसे चल रहा है, वो चल रहा है. But even उसमें भी क्या है, लोग बात करते हैं, I mean at that situation, but they doesn't realize, see, somebody has left the body, whatever he has earned, उसकी property है, उसके relatives and everybody is left back, but that he is not get convinced. उसमें भी क्या है, because he is illusion with material energy, even to that he will say अगर वो मर गया तो मर गया, लेकिन I will be living permanently, there's no problem. So that is why conviction is not there. So permanent existence thus become illusion by possessing so-called entry. अब वो क्या करता है, मेरा home, ये मेरा nation है, ये मेरा घर है, ये मेरा wife है, community है, wealth है. So the four representation of Maya. Under the dictation of Maya, we fight with one another to protect this false possession. So this is very, very strong words the Prabhupada is using. So which are the four representations? So Bhagavatam is nothing but a Vigyan. Gyan is nothing, Bhagavad Gita is nothing but a Gyan. And we can see this is also a Gyan. But Vigyan is nothing but, are there any practical experiences? Are there any practical things? Yes, there, because Bhagavatam is full of examples. If you see, in case of, yeah, what is Rishabdev? Rishabdev is also telling one important thing. Where, yeah, during the in the fifth canto, who is telling what do you call it? Bharat Maharaj. Yeah, Bharat Maharaj is telling to whom? Bharat Maharaj is telling, the merchant is the living entity. This is the forest of material. So whatever we call material creation is nothing but a forest. Okay, this material, the forest of material creation is summarized here. The merchant, we as a merchant is the merchant is the living entity who comes to the forest of material existence and try to make money for sense gratification. Because this tree is you have seen, right, upside down tree, what you call this reverse tree. In the tree, if you see, all the living entities are coming. Why? To get some money. For what? For sense gratification. For sense gratification. The six splendors are the senses. What are the splendors? Eyes, ears, nose, tongue, touch, and mind. The bad leader is driven by intelligence. Intelligence is meant for Krishna consciousness, but due to material existence, we divert all our intelligence to achieve material facilities. तो हम पूरा सारा जो रिसोर्स है, what will die? so that मैं अच्छे से रहूँ, मैं after the retirement I should live peacefully, मेरा बच्चों का material education अच्छा रहे, so that they can be live all our material existence. We divert all the intelligence to achieve the material existence. Everything belong to Krishna. We forget about that. Everything belongs to Krishna. The supreme personality of Godhead. But due to our perverted mind and senses, we plunder the property of the Lord and engage in satisfying our senses. Like Lord has given this facility as a human body, given everything. But what we are doing? We are just misusing it to lord over it. So we plunder the property of the Lord and engage in sin. The jackals and tigers. This is one of the strong words that Prabhupada is using. The jackals and tigers is the forest are our family members, and the herbs and creepers are our material desires. So jackals and tigers is the forest are our family members, and the herbs and creepers are our material desires. So, and we can get a lot of examples when we go in Bhagwatam, in Yayati, like yeah, in the chapter says in the beginning, yeah. When you go in the beginning, if you want to, what will happen if you want to lord over the metal energy again and again? So this is a beautiful example. After Sobermani is giving this realization after. I mean, after enjoying 1,000 years, after 1,000 years, and he is saying, in the beginning, I was alone and engaged in performing the austerities of mystic yoga. But later, because of association of fish engaged in sex, I desired to marry. So just seeing, he was there. He went to the water so that he cannot be distracted. So उन्होंने पानी के अंदर चले गए and he was meditating. But just upon seeing so many years he has done, कितने कई सालों तक उन्होंने तपस्या की, लेकिन just he has seen the two fishes are getting engaged, so he desired to marry. Then I became the husband of 50 wives. Then I became the husband of 50 wives, and each of them I begot 100 sons. And thus my family increased to 5,000 members. And by the influence of the modes of material nature, I became fallen and thought I would be happy in this material life. There is no end to my material desire for enjoyment in this life and next. Thus, there is no end. If you want to enjoy your material, if you want to lord over material energy, so there is no end to that. There is no end. I mean, in this life or next life. Why he is saying in this life or next life? Because uh, because whatever the propensity mainly is not the sinful we are lording over the material energy, but it's nothing but kutam we are creating, the propensity we are creating to enjoy. Like if somebody is always using a YouTube, WhatsApp every time, it's not like he is wasting the time. First of all, it's a wasting the uh, precious life, precious moments, because even a 1 second cannot get back. It's not only that he is wasting the time, but the propensity he is creating. Propensity in, like, you are watching your YouTube every day 1 hour, then next day also you will watch to 1 hour, next day also you will watch 1 hour. The propensity you will create because you wanted to have, you will make that habit. So it's not that you have misused the time. We have misused the time. It's not the big deal. The big deal is a propensity, and that propensity will carry not in this life but also in the next life. And what will happen? Like here it is saying, who? What do you call? Yayati wife. Yayati Maharaj, this one wife, Damayanti. Damayanti is saying in 9:19:16. What she is saying? For those who are attached to material enjoyment since graduation, it's very difficult to give up, even when is in invalid state because of old age. One cannot give up such desires for sense gratification. Therefore, one who actually desire happiness must give up unsatisfied desire. We should give up the unsatisfied desires. We should not be always desiring, which are the cause of all turbulence. And we have actually seen, especially in the Western countries, that men who have reached more than 80 years age of still go to nightclubs and pay heavy fees to drink wine and associate with women. Although such men are too old to enjoy anything they desire, are not seized. Even though if the because there's propensity is there, even though the body doesn't support, he is having that propensity to enjoy.
So this is what the propensity will do. And time deteriorates even the body itself, which is the medium of all sensual satisfaction. But even when a man becomes old and invalid, his desires are strong enough to dictate that he go here and there to satisfy the desire. So one of the devotee was saying, like if you're cannot able to control the senses, is nothing but a dog. तो डॉग को कैसे, कुत्ता कैसा रहता है, बोले तो आता है, जाओ बोले तो भाग जाता है. तो वैसे लाइक इफ वी आर गेटिंग अट्रैक्टेड टू सम सेंसेस, इट्स नथिंग बट वी आर इक्वल टू डॉग, वी आर नॉट नथिंग मोर देन दैट. If one sense is wanted to enjoy and you're going there, and other sense want to enjoy, then you're going there. There's no difference between dog and human. So therefore, the practice by bhakti yoga, one should give up his lust desire. And in the other purport also, Prabhupada was saying very strong words here in 515. Yes, the whirlwind is our attraction of our wife, and dust storm is our blinding passion experience during the sex. So whirlwind is nothing but वो बोलते हैं ना चक्र आता है जो ऐसा धूल को उड़ा के लेके जाता है. That is nothing but an attraction of. It's nothing but wife is nothing but for male to female and female to male. This is what he's saying. This and the blind passion. I mean, dust storm is nothing but a blind passion during what we experienced during the sex. This is very very strong words. But what she and Damayanti is also saying in the next verses. So when one is Krishna conscious, he get more and more happiness by discharging duties of Krishna. Such a person spits on sense gratification. Who can able to spit the sense gratification? Who can able to leave the sense gratification? Only the person who can get a Krishna consciousness, who are getting an happiness in Krishna consciousness. So we need to always, whatever the service we do, we need to, how we'll get happiness when we give our effort, when we give all our effort from core heart, like from हम जब हृदय से अंदर से भगवान की सेवा करना चाहते हैं, when उस कन्विक्शन से अगर हम चैंटिंग कर रहे हैं, उस कन्विक्शन से हम जो भी सर्विस कर रहे हैं, then we will be happy. So when one is Krishna conscious, he got more and more happiness by discharging duties of Krishna. Such a person spit on sense gratification, especially that of a sensual enjoyment. An experienced advanced devotee is no longer interested in sex, but the strong desire for sex can be substituted only by advancement in Krishna consciousness. And आगे she was saying one more verse. Yeah. See here, Yati is telling in this, I have spent a full 1000 years enjoying this career, yet my desire to enjoy such pleasure increases daily. So we should always remember, like whatever the sense gratification, smallest to smallest sense gratification can become a path to going to hell. So we should be always careful. Even the moment, whatever the moment we are getting, we are using it for our devotional service or the smallest small activities, even the office work and whatever the work is we are doing, it should be only to the pleasing for the Lord, not for our sins gratification. Okay, we are habituated, but at least we can pray the Lord, like I want to get out from this, I want to improve my behavior attitude. We can just request from Nityananda Prabhu, we can request Nursing there, he will remove all the impediments, whatever the lust is there. But unless until we do devotional service, we cannot go. So we will go further, we complete the purport. It's getting 1 minute. So, getting on the cultures of Maya with the help of a devotism. By cultivating spiritual knowledge, we can realize that we have nothing to do with all this material phenomena. Because Lord is Himself said, "I have nothing to do with this material energy. I'm just creating. I have nothing to do." Then, if Lord is nothing to do with the material energy, then what we are having a business to do with material energy? Material energy is nothing but sometimes people will think I'm have nothing to do with my family, with my kids. No, we are responsible for them, we are responsible for the wife, we are responsible for the children, but not for only for material advancement, material thing. We need to go beyond the body. Don't take it like how will train, how will educate, how will make a child education, even the child does not want to go to school or college. but somehow or other will maintain relationship. I will give him something this, something that, and will make him go to school, go to college, complete his studies. Same way, the Krishna conscious also same thing. We need to have the relationship, whatever he materially want, we need to facilitate him. But in other hand also we need to tell them, okay, this is good, you need to take this one also, you need to pray to the Lord, you need to give to arti to the Lord, at least chant one round, whatever the possible way. So we cannot force anybody, but at least whatever, like how we can complete, making them complete the education the same way we need to for daily. It's not like maybe 5 saal ke baad 10 saal ke baad, no, even the first day we need to always preach, we need to give the present every day. So whatever the way, because every day counts, every day counts. So then at once, when we have a spiritual knowledge, okay, then at once we become free from material. This clearance of the misgiving of material existence at once takes place by association with the Lord. How it will take place? The clear of misgivings, the clearance of material existence at once take place by association with the Lord. So most important part of the purport, who the devotees, the Lord devotees, who are able to inject the transcendental sound into the depths of bewildered heart. So who are having bewildered heart? The conditioned souls who are not getting interest in doing chanting, reading, or any service of the Lord. So we are not bewildered because we want to watch movie. We can watch 3 movies, 2 movies, 3 movies, 4 movies throughout the day. Because why? We are getting interested. But if somebody say like do this service, do chanting service from morning to evening, we will do? Cannot do. 2 hours बहुत हो गया भाई, इससे बना है क्यों? Why? Because we are bewildered heart. But what Lord devotees do, who are able to inject this transcendental sound, how they will injecting? Through purports, through lectures, through their convictions, because conviction is the main thing. We lack of conviction, that is why we are not performing well. If that conviction is given by the Lord devotees, okay, the Lord devotees were able to inject the answer down into the depths of the builder and thus make one practically liberated from all lamentation and illusion. So whatever the illusion, lamentation is there, that will be become liberated. So best way to pacify is the basis of knowledge. That is a summary of pacifying measures for those affected by the reaction of stringent exhibited in the forms of birth, death, old age, and disease, which are insoluble factors for materialism. The victim of war, namely the family members of the Kuru, were lamenting on the problem with the Lord pacified them on the basis of knowledge. So basis of knowledge, knowledge is the one main thing. So we can hear in Bhagavad Gita, Prabhupada is writing here. Therefore, the doubts which have arisen, Krishna is saying the doubts which have arisen in your heart out of ignorance should be slashed by the weapon of knowledge. So this is the important. So how the ignorance will go? By the weapon of knowledge. And one is called the yoga has two division. One is called sacrifice of one material positions. So how we need to sacrifice our material positions? It's like give something. Like don't always try to accumulate and at least like a book distribution going. You can give 5 books, 10 books at least to any of the relatives or and make them also to give somebody. So we, because साल में एक ही बार आता है, we can do that 5-10 books that will not cost more than 1,000 or 2,000, right? So we can collect from anywhere and we can give or at least donate the Bhagwatam or Gita. Okay, one is called sacrifice of material and other is called a knowledge of self. So this is also more important. One should have preaching to ourselves is also most important part of our life. If we don't preach, if it doesn't have a strong ground, a small wind can make us move away from the Krishna consciousness. A small turbulence, or if you get association with Mayavad or someone, a small thing, अरे क्या ऐसे तो organism हम कितना देखें तो ये organism कुछ नहीं रहता, ऐसा नहीं रहता, then we get bewildered because with the lack of knowledge, we doesn't have faith on Prabhupada or books. Okay, the devotees. So this the preaching of self is also most important part of the life. The knowledge of self, which is a pure spiritual life. If sacrifice of one material person is not dovetailed for spiritual life, so whatever the material position, if I'm living something but that is not to dovetail to spiritual, then that is not the yukta vairagya. Like I'm falgu vairagya, like I'm living simply to get a name and fin again. Okay, उसने कितना छोड़ दिया, उसने कितना छोड़ दिया, उसको तो अपने फैमिली से कुछ लेना देना है, but what, that will not give anything, only a giving of after name and fame. Then such sacrifice become material. But one who performs such sacrifice with a spiritual objective or in devotion, make a perfect. If one performs a sacrifice for the spiritual being, then that is a plan. And here in the purport also, Prabhupada is going, what do you mean by sacrifice? So we'll close this class. One who seeks subject ideas from one neighbor of Krishna consciousness awakened by the different types of sacrifice. Sacrifice in celibacy. This is the important part of the book. Krishna consciousness awakened by different types of sacrifice to the demigods, sacrifice to Brahman, sacrifice in celibacy, in household life, and in controlling the senses. This is the sacrifice. We need to control the urges. If we don't controlling the urges, then we are not in Krishna consciousness. Daily we need to see, okay, whatever the urges we are getting, okay, if I'm not able to, first my priority is chanting. After chanting only I will take breakfast. Okay, don't take oath like after 16 rounds only I will take the breakfast, because one day you can do, but second third day you cannot, because you need to increase your willpower, small steps. So at least you can maintain, okay, at least I will do 4 rounds, then only I will take breakfast. At least I will do Mangalarti, I will do 6 rounds, then only I will take. Or dinner, I will complete the dinner after completing my chanting only, then only I will take it. So take some small steps to increase your willpower. So we need to control the urges. We need to control the urges in practicing this, in penances, in forgetting material possession, in studying the Vedas, and partaking of social institution with Varnashram Dharma. So sacrifice is nothing but we need to control whatever the urges we are having. Celibacies like controlling the senses, tongue, our stomach, or doing any activity which is not spiritual, which is not related with. We should decrease that. And we should always go towards the spiritual consciousness. So we are limit of the time. I will stop the class here. If anybody is having any question, or I'm not eligible to speak on the Bhagavatam, but if I done any mistake, please forgive me, and you can correct me anytime. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So we have a question from Radhika Mataji.
Thank you.
Yeah, Hare Krishna, Dinesh Prabhuji, you can go ahead.
No, I just want to say thank you, Prabhuji, for wonderful class. Whenever you
No.
say, I think your voice is so serene that it just straight away stuck to heart, and your voice is also very sweet. So thank you very much for the
No,
wonderful class.
no
Thanks a
problem.
lot.
It's not about it's all about the glories of the Prabhupada purpose. So we need to we are lack of conviction. That's why we cannot we are not doing it properly. If somebody conviction when we'll get, because by doing a proper bhajan, proper chanting, proper bhajan, proper service. If you're doing service, if you're following the footsteps of Prabhupada or Guru Maharaj, whatever they say, if they say we need to wake up, we need to wake up. If they say we need to participate in book, we need to serve the devotees, yes, we need to serve the devotees. We are not material spiritually, everything, whatever we like. So we need to do the things whatever the recommended way, and we should not do the things which are not recommended by our acharyas. We should also like we should not pray to demigods, we should not take prasadam with demigods or any other thing, whatever. So there's one question from Radhika Mataji: how to get the motivation? How to get the motivation to continue the job if one gets too much attached to bhakti and don't feel like working? Like, yeah, this is also one thing. Like especially for the owners, if there is a working husband and if you are materially good, then there is no need to do the job. This is one of the things, because the primary objective of the home is to create an environment so that all can practice spiritually. If the Mataji is engaged in if there is no requirement, then there is no need to do you can serve the Lord, you can groom the children, you can serve the in-laws, so that they can also practice the spiritual, and you can read Bhagwatam and everything. So we should always if there is no if there's we can do that, but we cannot leave the responsibility, because responsibility is the main thing. In this situation, they may be, the husband cannot earn the much salary, so that we can they cannot afford the material education to our children and don't take it up. So at that time we can compromise. but it's best if the Matajis are there, they can avoid doing the work if they are materially situated good, and they can take care of the kids and they can take care of the in-laws. And because the spiritual environment, if both of them are working, then there's a lack of time to give the spiritual, especially in India, because going to the office, coming back, and you have a politics, you have everything, and you cannot take care of the family as well. But it's all depends on Krishna. If they have an good material balance, it's my personal thing, but everybody need to have their own. They need to consult the senior devotees before taking any step. That's I recommend to any senior is
Thank you,
can help in
Prabhuji.
that. Sorry,
Yeah,
Mataji.
thank you, Prabhuji.
Yeah. Uh, Yukta Vairagya, I mean, Vairagya should be like, it's not only like we are, I mean, मेरे kids है, मेरे wife है या कोई भी है, like I should be get separated. I mean, it's better to avoid them. No, because unless until we are having a good relationship with them, how you can enlighten them? How you can make them spiritual? अगर मैं बच्चे को बोलूँगा सिर्फ पढ़ो पढ़ो पढ़ो, but I will not play with him, I will not take him outside, I will not give him what he want, he will never listen to me, right? So this is the way we need to maintain relationship. Whatever the bodily relationships are there, we need to maintain it, but we need to also enlighten them. We need to also give them Krishna consciousness. We need to at least request them to engage some or the other way. How we can groom our child to complete the education, the same way we need to groom. And even the relatives, we need to have at least a minimum relationship, so that at least we can tell them to join the sessions, or take the Bhagavatam, or read the Gita. How we can say? Because if we have a good relationship only, so we should have good relationship with them, like 24 hours chit chatting with them, wasting our time and their time. And we should not talk about material, but it is at least minimum relationship which should maintain with everyone. We should not be fanatic. Yeah, Hare Krishna. So I think we have any queries, and we are also crossed our time. Yeah, Hare Krishna, Dayal Prabhuji.
How we can introduce while preaching
Yeah.
to a devotee? So, I mean, we are little inclined towards what we are saying, but at the same time, when it comes to reading books or spiritual books, particularly Prabhupada, small, even chanting one Lord, how we can introduce or how we can approach that subject, getting them to accept reading books.
No, it
What
depends on, it's preaching to our family is different, and speaking to relatives are completely different. And preaching, yeah, Prabhuji.
to a friend or a person who we
Yeah.
find in our
Yeah, first of all, the preaching starts with ourselves. We should do our sadhana perfectly. We should also having a good behavior, good attitude. Whatever the past is past. Now, once we are there in the Prabhupada Chitta, we should always improve our behavior, our attitude, our mood and mission. We should always stick to our mood and missions. And because, like, see, everybody when we join, like, will not eat outside prasadams, will not mingle much, but they respect. They will first became so fanatic, and but at the end of that, they will understand, they will respect, and due to that only they will listen to us. They will okay, if Prabhuji is saying something, they might be good. And sometimes what happen, they will because due to our past association with them, they doesn't want to listen, so we can engage them coming in some good classes and you can introduce the devotees. Or the best thing, if you want to introduce some best friend, is to uh, engage their money in the Krishna consciousness. Because there's a practical example that when you engage in the book distribution, like we can say, Prabhuji, okay, you can take 2 3 books, Prabhuji, and you can distribute. You can tell this is the most precious thing, most important thing. If you do that, then you will go to the I mean spiritual parents. Maybe it will not appealing, but at least if you give some knowledge, they will do it. And not only that, And it's practical. When you give Gita Dan, it's actually most benefit you're doing. And how much Gita? Even if he takes Gita for 200 rupees and he can distribute, or he can distribute to his relatives, at least 2 books he can do that. 400 rupees. What 400 rupees cost? It will not cost anything. You can take to the temple and he can take, okay, Prabhuji, you can invite, or always you can invite them to satsangas, or give them prasadam, because some guys, they doesn't want to come to anywhere. They doesn't want to get into it. At least you can offer prasadam. You can chant for them. You can chant good rounds. You can offer the prasadam in our home and share the same prasadam to them. Okay, we can engage them multiple ways, like how the person, depending on the person, if he listens, then you can tell them humbly chant one round, or at least read some books on the way to Krishna, or what do you call, second chance, or this thing. That books can complete 3-4 days, not more than, only around 20-25 pages are there. So it's all depends, like on the person to person. So we can also pray to the Lord, okay, this I want to engage this guy, please help me. And maybe some or the other, if he gets a certain sukriti, because the main person is not getting to Krishna consciousness is the lack of sukriti. So we need to create a sukriti, either engaging him in some service. Okay, Prabhuji, bring some flowers, bring some plates for the devotees, or give some fruits, so that we are having. I cannot go, so can you bring some foods for the Lord? So you can engage him. You can engage the Lakshmi. You can engage him in any kind of service, like picking up or dropping some devotees or something. We have so many services. Once you're in the group, you will get so many services, and you can engage him in some or the other way, because during after engaging only he will get sukriti, and after getting a certain sukriti only, and by the mercy of the devotees, or the pure devotees, then only he can come to Krishna consciousness. Yeah. Don't be funny, don't force. Like, you can request, always be request. But when we request somebody, many times, definitely he will come for one class. And if he received good, and if he get mercy, yes, surely. And the best we follow is to engage the children, because get some knowledge of Vedic, even they don't want to do. So first we engage their kids in the classes, and something, and then you can just check. Okay. Hare Krishna. Okay, then, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji.
So
Thank you very much.
we'll end up our, yeah, thank you. So we'll end up our class to Vaishnav Temple and the Vaishnav Bhagavad. So whatever I spoke today, so just give mercy so that I can follow something. Okay. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srimad Granth Raj ki jai.